Hardest goodbye is not the one caused by hatred. It's the one spoken by two people still completely in love. We reached the edge with steady hands and grace. No anger living in the space between our faces. Only the unbearable truth we couldn't hide, that love alone could not decide our lives. You were never lacking, never less than enough. The tragedy was how perfectly we fit in love. Yet every dream we carried pulled apart. Two different futures tearing at one heart. And every kiss became a silent prayer to stop the ending waiting in the air. But some roads separate despite desire, and leave two faithful souls inside the fire. No villains to blame, no promises betrayed, only two hearts breaking for choices they made. We walked away while loving still, against our hearts, against our will, holding tears behind our eyes while saying necessary lies. Some goodbyes don't kill the flame, they leave it burning all the same. And every night its light remains inside the corners of my veins. People search for reasons after love is gone, looking for mistakes to place the weight upon. But not every ending comes from something wrong. Some endings happen while the feeling stays strong. I still carry the softness of your name like sacred embers underneath the rain. And though I never reach for you again, part of me still lives inside what might have been. There are chapters closed without regret, yet impossible to completely forget. Because maturity can guide the hand, but it cannot command the heart to understand. And even today, when your memory appears, it arrives without anger, only tenderness and tears. We walked away while loving still, against our hearts, against our will, holding tears behind our eyes while saying necessary lies. Some goodbyes don't kill the flame, they leave it burning all the same. And every night its light remains inside the corners of my veins. If courage had a darker side, it would look like our goodbye, choosing truth above desire, walking out while still on fire. Some people lose each other slowly, we lost each other completely, and somehow loved completely too. if somebody now receives your smile, I hope they understand it's fragile light. As for me, I learned that love can't stay long after two people walk away. Not demanding, not asking to return, only existing quietly as it burns. And when my story reaches its last page, she'll still be written softly through the space between the words that time could never move, the silent evidence of what I knew. We walked away while loving still, against our hearts, against our will, holding tears behind our eyes while watching our forever die. Some goodbyes don't end the heart, they simply teach you how to part. And even when the years are gone, the love remains. Moving on. The night forgives many things, but not every love. Some remain unfinished forever, not because they failed, because they were real. Love was never the problem. We were two hearts pulling in different directions, while still holding the same flame. We stayed longer than wisdom advised, trying to save what was already dividing our lives. Neither of us wanted to become a memory, yet every day pushed us toward the inevitable quietly. You were not my mistake, you were my deepest truth, and that's what made leaving impossible to do. Every embrace felt like both medicine and pain, a shelter in a storm, arriving together again. We loved too much to keep hurting this way. Sometimes devotion means walking away. We chose goodbye while love remained, standing in the pouring rain, holding pieces of forever, knowing we could not stay together. Some hearts break for noble reasons, some flames survive all seasons, and even now your light remains inside the quiet of my veins. There was no anger waiting at the door, no betrayal hiding underneath the floor. Only two people exhausted by the fight between their dreams and what felt right. The cruelest endings are often kind, they arrive gently and leave scars behind, because love does not disappear on command, even when letting go becomes the only plan. And every tear fell without blame, only sorrow calling your name. We chose Two people still in love, choosing truth over desire, and carrying that decision for the rest of their lives. Taught me something rare, that true affection sometimes becomes a prayer. Not asking to return, not asking to begin again, only wishing happiness for someone you'll never stop loving. We chose goodbye while love remained. Forgives many things, but not every love. Some remain unfinished forever, not because they failed, because they were real. Some people leave a memory. You left a pulse, something still beating long after you were gone. You arrived like certainty disguised as chance, a quiet revolution hidden in a glance. No noise, no warning, no dramatic sign, just your soul slowly intertwining mine. I trusted the calm living in your eyes, the kind of peace nobody ever buys. And every fear I carried through the years seemed smaller whenever you were near. I never planned to build a world around your name, yet somehow every future did the same. Now every unfinished dream I used to keep still carries traces of you underneath. And I still hear the tenderness you gave inside the parts of me time could not change. You became the light beneath my scars, the missing piece inside my dark, the silent mercy of my youth, the only wound that still feels true. And even now when I little hesitations in your thoughts, the way your silence often said enough when words became too fragile or too rough. The shape of your attention still remains, like fingerprints preserved inside the rain. And every lesson life has tried to teach stops where your absence stays beyond its reach. There are feelings language cannot explain, a sweetness hidden inside pain, a kind of lost too beautiful to hate, a love too real to erase. Ooh, the years move on, the world rearranges, yet part of my heart never changes. You became the light beneath my scars, the missing piece inside my dark, the silent mercy of my youth, the only wound that still feels true. And even now when nights grow cold, your memory refuses to grow old. Some loves disappear from view, mine keeps finding ways to reach for you. Perhaps that's why certain people remain, not because they stayed, but because they transformed us into someone who could never return to who they were before. Sometimes I wonder where your laughter lives, inside where life eventually gives, where there's somebody now protects your heart, the way I wish to from the start. And though I know our story reached its end, love still visits quietly now and then, not asking for another chance to begin, only reminding me where it has been. Because some souls leave more than memories, they leave entire constellations underneath, guiding us long after they depart, like hidden stars inside the heart. You became the light beneath my scars, the missing piece inside my dark, the silent mercy of my youth, the only wound that still feels true. And even if tomorrow calls me far, you remain my hidden star. Some loves disappear from view, mine keeps finding ways to reach for you. The night grows deeper, the years grow older, but somewhere inside this quiet heart, you still bloom. Some loves never become memories, because they never become real. They stay suspended between desire and restraint. discipline for years, hidden somewhere underneath my careful fears. Every glance carried a forbidden weight, like touching fire while pretending to hesitate. Your name became a room I couldn't leave, a private wound I desperately believed. And every time your eyes collided with mine, the world felt dangerously misaligned. I learned the architecture of restraint, how long and slowly teaches hearts to ache, how silence sometimes grows more intimate than lovers tangled underneath the sheets. And nobody knew the war beneath my skin, the places I returned that never reached my hands, the love that no one understands. Some desires survive untouched because reality asks too much. And every night I lose you twice, inside a dream I sacrifice. Never belonged inside a reckless story. You were something quiet, something holy, a gravity impossible to explain, a beautiful form of voluntary pain. There were no promises left undone, no dramatic ending waiting to come, only two hearts respecting every line, while secretly wishing they could redefine. And even now I measure every face against the comfort of your hidden grace. Nobody knows how deep a feeling grows when it survives what nobody can go. Still I protect what never became ours, like fragile light inside forgotten hours. You were the prayer I never spoke, the flame I carried in the smoke, the touch that never reached my hands. Maybe love was never asking to be on, maybe it was only asking to be known. Some connections bloom without a place to land, still they leave eternity inside a hand. And though the world will never hear your name, my soul remembers every hidden flame. Oh, closer than memory, closer than breath. Some confessions arrive too late, not because courage failed, because the heart learned how to survive without being hurt. You never knew the weight your name became, how every ordinary day carried your flame. I learned your smile the way believers learn a prayer, returning to it whenever life felt unfair. You lived inside the quiet side of me, the part nobody else would ever see. And every conversation felt dangerously close to revealing what I never chose. There was no tragedy, no sudden goodbye, only years passing underneath the same sky, while my heart carried an invisible thread, connecting every word you said. And every time you looked into my eyes, I buried entire worlds behind simple replies. You were the love I never spoke aloud, the hidden light inside the crowd, the secret chapter no one read, the living dream inside my head. Some feelings never find their place, yet leave eternity behind their trace. And every night your memory stays like moonlight resting on abandoned days. I watched other seasons enter your life, different roads, different dreams, different nights, and still the feeling quietly survived without demanding to be justified. Because love is not always meant to be possessed, sometimes it simply asks to exist. A gentle lake beneath the skin, a beautiful war nobody wins. I've never wanted to disturb your peace or turn affection into grief, so I carried you the only way I knew, through silence that remained true. Time moved forward, but desire stood still. Certain kinds of love ignore the will. You were the love I never spoke aloud, the hidden light inside the crowd, the secret chapter no one read, the living dream inside my head. Some feelings never find their place, yet leave eternity behind the trace. And every night your memory stays like moonlight resting on abandoned days. Perhaps another version of myself would have crossed the distance, would have risked everything for one honest sentence. But life was written differently. Now all that remains is this faithful silence, still carrying your name. If I met you again years from now, I would not ask what could have been. I would simply thank the universe for letting me feel something so rare. Because not every love becomes a story. Some become a compass, guiding the soul quietly through darkness and uncertainty. And though you never belong to me, part of my heart belongs to who you helped me be. You were the love I never spoke aloud, the hidden light inside the crowd, the secret chapter no one read, the living dream inside my head. And even when the stars grow dim, part of me still turns to him. Some feelings never fade away, they simply learn another way to stay. No confession, no goodbye, only a love that lived an entire life in silence.